The forest loomed, a wall of twisted trees. Czarnowice, the locals called it. Haunted, they said. Sergeant Mikhail scoffed. Superstition. His squad, hardened by war, trudged deeper into the woods. Their mission: locate a missing German outpost. The air grew cold, despite the summer sun. A shiver ran down Mikhail's spine. Nonsense, he told himself, just nerves. The forest floor was a carpet of decaying leaves. Each step released the pungent aroma of decay. Sunlight struggled to penetrate the canopy, casting long, eerie shadows. The silence was unnerving. No birdsong, no animal calls, just the sound of their own boots on the damp earth. Mikhail felt a growing unease. This place was wrong. Hours crawled by. The forest seemed to press in, suffocating. The men, usually boisterous, spoke in hushed tones. Even the most hardened among them felt the oppressive atmosphere. They marched on, their faces grim, their eyes constantly scanning the woods. Every shadow seemed to writhe, every rustle of leaves a whispered threat. They reached a clearing. In the center stood the outpost, or what remained of it, splintered wood, charred timbers. The stench of death hung heavy in the air, but there were no bodies, just the echo of violence past. Mikhail felt a chill. This was no ordinary attack. The silence was broken by Private Dmitri. "What happened here, Sergeant?" His voice was barely a whisper. Mikhail shook his head. He didn't know. The outpost was destroyed, but there was no sign of the Germans, no bodies, no shell casings, no sign of a struggle. It was as if they had simply vanished. He knelt, examining the ground. There were strange tracks, unlike anything he'd seen before, three-toed, massive. He touched a charred timber. It crumbled in his hand. The wood was unnaturally dry, as if all the moisture had been sucked out of it. He stood, a sense of dread creeping up his spine. Something wasn't right. Nightfall. They made camp. A ring of anxious faces around a flickering fire. The silence of the forest was absolute, broken only by the crackling flames. Private Victor, a burly man known for his booming laugh, sat apart, staring into the darkness. His eyes were wide with fear. He kept muttering about shadows and whispers. A scream ripped through the night. "Victor!" They rushed to him, but it was too late. He lay on the ground, eyes wide with terror, his face contorted in a silent scream. His throat was crushed, his body twisted at an unnatural angle. Panic seized the men. They were being hunted.